We're delighted to welcome Bartosz Węglarczyk. He's editor-in-chief of Onet.pl. Welcome, sir. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
So this is going on quite a lot, isn't it? I mean, recently we've had North Korean hackers steal sensitive data from South Korean court, computer network. Ministry of Defence in Britain has suffered a major setback, and now this attack on Polish infrastructure. What is going on?
Everybody's hacking everybody, it seems.
Looks that way.
Yeah, but it's the truth. Everybody's really hacking everybody. The cyber war is going on everywhere in the world. It's not only, enemies hacking enemies, it's also friends hacking friends. I think we have to get used to it. Russian hackers are told to be one of the best in the world. We know Belarus has very good hackers as well. North Korea is getting a lot of money out of it. They're doing it mainly for money, not for intelligence, but for money. So we just have to get used to it. It's like with a regular crime. The crime will be always there. We just need to, equip police in every possible equipment they can get to fight it, and just get used to it.
Well, it's not quite a regular crime, is it? I mean, the hackers that attacked the Polish system wanted to disrupt the infrastructure. I mean, one can imagine all the lights going out in Poland or water supplies drying up. And that is fundamentally dangerous. How good are we at stopping this kind of attack?
Yes, but then you're talking about a specific kind of crime, which is terrorism. And it's also crime, but it's obviously different. And this is even a specific kind of terrorism. It's a government-sponsored terrorism. So these are the hackers that work for a government. And it's true, they're trying to sabotage infrastructure, sabotage government agencies, but we still, I think we have to get used to it. This is going to happen as often as possible from their perspective. Russian hackers and Belarusian hackers will attack targets not only in Poland, but in Western world in general. We've seen it in the past. You mentioned, before we went on the air, you mentioned presidential elections in the US. It will happen again this year, I'm sure. There were attacks on US infrastructure in the past. There will be attacks on US, Polish, French, German, and other infrastructure in the future.
I wanted to ask, would you agree with Krzysztof Gawkowski's comments, perhaps his confidence that Poland's cyber defense forces are at that very high level, that we have really nothing to worry about, and that the investment that is being put in by the government is really enough to keep us going?
Well, I think it's a good job when the government official is trying, just to keep the emotions down and calm people down. And I think Mr. Gawkowski is doing a good job at it. I've met, actually, just by accident, I met a commander of the Polish military cyber forces just yesterday in Poznań, and we had very good discussion, and he's very confident about his people and about, Polish military hackers' possibilities. But of course, we have to remember this is high technology. So, like with everything else, like with this, cell phones and internet and artificial intelligence, there are new possibilities and new ways to commit this crime every single day. So even if we are good today, it's not a problem about today. We have to be even better tomorrow. And that's what we have to focus on, getting better and better every single day.
Bartosz, you mentioned AI, artificial intelligence, as a hacking tool. What about as a defense tool?
Like with everything, it's like with a gun. Gun can be used by, a robber, and can be used by a policeman. And that's exactly the same thing with artificial intelligence. We know that there are a lot of government projects to use artificial intelligence for anti-hacking activities. But when we talk about the government-sponsored hackers, there are government projects to use AI for hacking, and to hack. So, of course, there will be more and more artificial intelligence. We will come to a moment when I strongly believe it, when most of the hacking activities will be run by bots and by artificial intelligence, and people will just, sign the orders about what to hack.
And then speaking about very practical things, because we have the EU parliamentary elections just round the corner, there's so much talk about how vulnerable these elections are, that we're very much under attack, disinformation, hacking, etc., etc. What is your assessment of how well equipped the EU is in the face of all these threats?
I think the problem that we're facing in the European elections is the disinformation campaign by Russians. And this is putting fake news and disinformation into campaign to push the candidates that Moscow would like to see more in European Parliament. It's not about who counts votes. I'm pretty confident that the counting systems are pretty good. I don't think it will be possible to hack, although we'll see, and I hope I'm right about this. I think we have to do much more about making the political campaigns, not only European elections but every other political campaign coming on, be more just, and just keep the fake news out of it as much as possible. And there's of course it got a lot to do with the artificial intelligence. AI is a very good tool to fight disinformation.
What about in terms of voting? There is talk of mail ballots, but presumably these are going to actually be done online. I mean, isn't there a risk of, the numbers being completely distorted if we use this option?
I strongly believe myself that the online voting is a way to go. And I think we should get into internet voting. Of course, that means new possibilities to hack. But it's the same thing with the paper ballots. You can burn them, you can steal them, you can print your own. So there are ways to falsify elections even with the paper ballots. So, we just have to be,
Yes, but the scale is different, isn't it? If it's online, they can attack a whole batch of, 100,000 votes, for example.
No, I don't agree. You can change, so-called paper elections, even by stealing, 100 votes, if you know where to steal them, at what exact point. We had people who got into the parliament in Poland by, 50 votes. So no, I don't agree. I think it's a different, it's a different kind of animal, basically, the online voting. But it's, hacking doesn't mean that we have to get rid of technology. We just have to get better at defending it. But technology is there, and we have to use it. And I think more people should get to, to vote. More people should vote in Poland. Not enough people vote in Poland. And I still, as I said at the beginning, strongly believe that the online voting is a way to go.
Okay, Bartosz Węglarczyk, editor-in-chief of Onet.pl. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.